Hello everybody. And today I'm gonna be showing you guys about 6 of my drawings. And this is the first one. This one I did digitally on my phone. Which I remember this one very well because I did it on July 4th. That's why you might realize when we go to the end of the coloring one, then that there'll be stars, 50 stars on the sweater because it's American Independence Day. So basically the gist of this video is that I have 3 drawings and I redraw the drawings a couple of weeks after I drew them. So I drew the 3 not as good drawings on July 4th, and then I made all the better drawings like a couple days ago. So as we start here, as you can see, I use red liner because the American flag has red stripes, and I just feel it. And since I did this in honor of July 4th, I thought it'd be okay. So I started with a circle head, and I made a stump body. As you can see, I tried to make them like waving or excited, but that didn't really turn out. That's why we got the little no there. So I made them smiling, and the most iconic difference is that I made them have like kind of wavy hair. I wouldn't call it curly. It's wavy. So then another mistake that I did is that I went in with black liner before deopacitating the red. As you can see, now I made it straight hair, and I went straight in with the coloring without even finishing my liner. So as you can tell, this looks really muddy. When I first started doing digital art, I thought it's like the way you draw that mattered, but it was also the brushes too, and how much time you actually take to pay attention to it. And as you can see, this is not very good. I will tell myself that at least I decided to actually add some shine and some shadows, because usually I just leave it as is, but I've been trying to add more shadows and stuff. And as you can see, my sketch was basically for nothing because I just made new eyes anyway. And as you can see, I kind of look like I was rushing. This video is sped up, obviously, so I wasn't actually going this fast. But even you can just tell, like, I was rushing by how bad this drawing is. But now we got our next one, and this one is the redraw of the one we just saw. So this one I did a couple of weeks after, and as you can see, the title of this video is how I improved my drawing skills. As you can see, you see I actually drew an actual head and the eyes look better. And I would like to say that this one I was really proud of. But the thing is that usually when you tell that drawing isn't gonna look the best, you can tell from the sketch phase. But when I was drawing the sketch, I was like, oh, okay, this looks pretty good. This looks pretty nice. And then the line art was good too, until I got to the coloring stage and everything started looking blocky. So I don't know, maybe my phone just doesn't like this drawing. And then I didn't even pay attention to the stars. But this one is probably the best transformation. And also this character, it kind of reminds me, you might see at the end of this drawing that it kind of reminds me of Eclipsa from Star versus the Forces of Evil. If you don't know who that is, that's one of the queens. And I don't know, maybe it's the expression and the hair. If I just made like the skin color like a little bit lighter in color, then maybe that would look exactly like her. I feel like once I realized and I did the hair, I just decided to make the outfit look like it too. And again, as you can see, I also redrew the eyes. And I feel like this one is my least favorite out of all the ones I made that day. but I feel like it has the best transformation. So again, this is the redraw. You might notice that for all of these redraws, I use black line art instead of using colored line art again. And something that I've learned over the weeks is that instead of using listen, I'd rather use colored line art than use just black sketch and then just try to color over it. So that's why I was using it. Because even if you change the layer, you won't know if you're actually doing good if you just use black to color on a black sketch. So that's why I learned to take the opacity down, if that makes sense. And as you can see, I had a little trouble with the mouth, but that's okay. So you see, this one was actually, even though I feel like this is the best transformation, I feel like the sketch wasn't my favorite, but when I started to color, I just changed it. And let me tell you, I did change a lot of things because, as you can probably tell by the first drawing, that everything looked kind of blocky and desaturated, but this one I made it very, very saturated and very vibrant, which is probably my favorite things. And I continued by coloring in the eyes. I feel like I changed it from Eclipsa, from Stars versus the Forces of Evil, into a magician. I don't know why this gave me so magician vibes. I have no idea why. But another thing that I've learned in the weeks I've been practicing to redraw these is that colored line art is actually really good. You see, for example, if you're making it a peachy skin color, and usually if people go for either lineless art style or black line art, but I love taking the color I'm going to use for the skin color or even for the clothes or the hair, and then taking it and then making it a little bit darker and using that as the liner for that specific area. As you can see for the outfit, I made, instead of doing it a very pastel blue, I made a darkish purpley blue instead. And as you can see, this one is done, and I just made a little thing and colored around it, and then there we go, it's done. So now that is the second one, and this one was on the same day as, of course, all the original drawings, July 4th, 2024. And I can't really call this one an illustration because I didn't really color it in. It was more of a little doodle, to pass the time. So basically the theme of this drawing, again with the colored line art, was basically a girl who has two peace signs, and she's in the air and she's having a great time. And I'll tell you, this is my favorite one out of all the original drawings. It's kind of weird because this one, the original drawing, is my favorite out of all the originals, and then the redraw of this is actually my least favorite, even though it's actually colored in. I feel like it's because I changed some things like the hair. The hair, as you can see a little bit in the front. And again with the line art. So as we can see, I started off drawing, and I feel like the thing that gave me the most trouble was the arms, because usually since I use a pretty small canvas to make it not as slow and stuff, and I also gave her two left hands by accident, and I feel like the right hand or the left hand is way thinner and longer than the left hand, which doesn't make sense. And for once, as me personally, as an artist, Me personally as an artist, I think in the beginning I obviously thought hands were hard, like everybody else. But now that I'm more experienced, I gotta say now it's the arms. I can't do arm poses. I just keep them down most of the time. The only thing I can do okay if I really try is like a waving position. And I really need to try. Another thing is her expression. As you can see, the other girl, she was having a good time. She was smiling. But this one, as you can see, um, eyebrows are like a really big a part of emotion. Like your eyebrows will go up when you're like smiling really widely, or you're really sad, and if like your eyebrows are like more down, then that means you're kind of angry, or like you're doing like a confident pose or something, like confident pose or something. But I made her smiling and like the eyebrows up, so it kind of looks like she's concerned, which that's not really the vibe. And also, another thing is her hair. I can't even talk about that right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Goodbye.